Hi folks, so we are back at the World Championship and this is now round 3. It's my game against Stan, playing Baratheon Assault from the Shadows. And this is an interesting one because just I think a week or two before the World Championship was played, there was a friendly open event where I played Baratheon Assault from the Shadows, testing for the 8 regions. And I think I played Kings of Summer in the final of that event and thought that I maybe didn't have the best matchup, but ended up winning pretty easily. So playing this from the other side now, we'll see how it goes against Assault. Could be tricky for me. And 2 cards on setup, not great. Could have had more, but King's Landing is very good on setup, so just setting up Imri, gambling that of course Marched is not going to be in a deck like this. And we have pretty good stuff from my opponent, Sir Richard Thorpe. And of course taking that Summer Harvest gamble and hitting very nicely, so guess we are up against it immediately. This deck could have cards pretty similar to mine, although perhaps not. I wouldn't play Sir Richard, for instance, in a control deck, so maybe some other tricks here. Obviously the card that immediately springs to mind with him is the 6-cost Melisandre, because he can move power onto characters and then possibly kill them. So I guess we have to watch out for any tricks like that. You know, got King's Landing but no other econ, which is again unfortunate. And we have the chamber without the throne. But being able to play out a lot of this hand here. Yeah, Richard already knelt, but there will be a lot of gold for my opponent here. Left 1 gold and nothing to use it for, so that's not the best plan. Well, okay. So core Melisandre does suggest a bit of a control element to this. There's different ways of playing Assault from the Shadows, of course. Some versions do use a bit more rushy stuff, Fickle Bannerman, the Starry Sept for instance, but here we have Melisandre and the Throne. Okay, so this could be a deck that fights me for dominance and tries to kneel most of my stuff. We'll see how that goes when I reveal those Grand Melees. And my opponent, unfortunately, with 1 gold left as well, means he might have a Sin in Flames or something in Shadows that comes in for 1 gold. Could be a Milk or a Traitor to the Crown. Although Delena being able to find Edric is very nice against decks that also play the Iron Throne. We just need to get our own throne here. So did military just because I want to get the board smaller, and the opponent didn't look like could really defend it or wanted to defend it. That's my R'hllor card gone for next round. And what to do here? Kill the reducer with no economy, except for King's Landing. Alright, then whatever is in shadows stays in shadows. Definitely a better start for my opponent. Already has a comparable board and more cards and a throne in play. Here comes the exchange, trying to find something, and my opponent plays air, so that's going to get rid of Alistair and nil another character for sure. Getting 4 cards. Yeah, I think he's going to give me some economy now. Gives me Storm's End actually. Interesting. Not afraid of it. And the draw event, but this time I didn't get my 3 power with Late Summer Feast. And now we have Robert and another character nailed. Okay, the one saving grace I guess is that my opponent is not set up to survive Duharis very well here. I have my own Robert, but I think, well, if he uses his Robert, I kind of like the board being nailed for my game plan, so yeah, happy to see these same cards on his side. Of course, he's going to choose the options that suit him more, but still should be okay for me, I think. And a free bastard of Robert. So it's already looking like we are forced to play Duharis pretty soon here. And after all of that effort, still didn't draw an econ location or the Iron Throne. I could just play Storm's End for 5, or I could get a Melisandre Nil, maybe. Yeah, Saved in Kingdom, unfortunately. I'm not winning Dominance, so that's not that useful. Could play some Traitors on his characters. And those come back anyway if there is a reset. Stu Renown and Melisandre is the only intrigue icon. Going for that, because the Harris is going to take care of the Renown stuff anyway, although Sir Richard Horp can save the power. And here come the Traitors. Just putting them on the big guys. Makes it difficult to lose power. Opponent has 3 cards in shadows, 2 of those with the tokens, so those could be Traitors as well. It's a staple of the Bar Assault to do that. Yeah. Sin in Flames sees 1 character, so easy call to just get rid of it. And there go my intrigue icons as well. It's unfortunate, but at least he had to leave me the set down or deeds, so I could use that if I manage to grab some power. I'm second player, so should be able to win power back. What do we do here? I leave it unopposed because I want to initiate a challenge with Imri probably. Yeah. Good chance that the Acolyte will stay nailed because of Robert. Yeah, he saves the power, so things going against me and going pretty quickly here. now I have 2 Storm's End in hand and 2 Traitors in play. So maybe it could be possible to win 2 power challenges just offensively. This one I can defend successfully. So just oppose it. Just trying to keep as much stuff standing as possible. Yeah, he defends, doesn't want to lose the bastard of Robert, and I think that pretty much signals that Robert will choose the shots to stay knelt. Richard Horp will stand, so he's free to defend this. And at least I can keep Delena standing, and my Melisandre should stand as well. Still not enough power to do anything with that set down or deeds. Now, do I have another round before I need to play the Harris is the question. Can I survive by playing a Grand Melee here? He has 2 traitors attached, only 1 intrigue icon, but lots of cards. Rose Road from Shadows, interesting, just to cheat the limited business. Not the usual use of this. And yeah, no need to reset just yet. I can play a Grand Melee. Should be able to win power. I do prefer the red keep being in play, of course. Interesting choice of plot. Now will we see the big army, because well, he might be playing Storms, and I guess that's the other option. Not sure what else could be reduced by this plot. And here come the free shots. Very nice if you can get those with Robert, especially with Grand Melee, where you need standing characters, and he does have Storm's End of his own, so lots of the same cards. Now I did top deck my own throne, and now this could be favorable because I have Edric and 2 traitors, so I should be able to win dominance. Still no Econ though, so he on the other hand has plenty. Not really holding back for potential Harris. Now, what do we do? Storm's End takes all the gold here. Can play the throne and then maybe use it. Use King's Landing to try to draw another card. I think that's the thing to do. Just use it and see what we get. I have Sin in Flames for Melisandre. I have Saving the Kingdom if I need it. But just do this and could play Throne and Chamber. Yeah, Bastard Night Song too expensive now, but should be useful after the reset. And now 4 gold could be seen in flames and saving the kingdom, or could be one of those two in the chamber. If I kneel Robert or Richard, means he's down to 1 military icon and 1 intrigue icon, so those are already pretty much gone. And then he just has some minor strength in the power challenge, which he can win. And then I do my own, I guess. It's one way of doing it. Dominance fight is tricky. Melisandre. So, not playing her as a dupe. Next to her is slightly trickier. There is Stannis as well. And Arsis the Fury, unfortunately, is pretty nasty. Now, Delena does prevent the stand, and that's his own Delena as well. So interesting to include both of these cards, but can still stick a big body into a challenge, so not sure what to do here. Getting rid of Melisandre, and I think, what do we do here? Robert, okay. And 5 gold left, so very tricky for me to win dominance here. Just a minimum investment because I need to kneel both to defend. Now if I don't defend, what happens? So he has Melisandre and the gold for dominance. Edric can stop Melisandre, and then I would have 7 against his 5. Just calculating what happens if I defend instead. I think winning dominance is better actually. Ends 8-3, does it? And this one ends 8-2 or something like that. If I defend it. Okay, so not even giving him the power for claim here. I don't usually like to trade the 2 cards. The 1 power for 2 cards, it's not quite enough, but I'm doing okay now, I think, as far as cards are concerned. And okay, he brings out black cells, which makes the dominance calculation slightly different now. But I still lose it if I do anything with my characters here, so just happy to win dominance. Bring it to 7-2 here. And plenty of time to turn the game around, so 1 mystery card. And in hand is Stannis and what was the other card? Arsis the Fury. Okay. And actually with Robert being used, he has the bigger board. But with Robert being used, I have this pretty much under control. I don't have a Relord trigger next round, but okay. I do have Saving the Kingdom, and I am winning dominance now, so I could just continue. Play either Grand Melee for another similar round, or I could play Trade Routes to get my own Storm's End and that fiefdom. Then makes the rest of the plots slightly easier. And I go for the Harris. Yeah, looking back at this game, I'm not sure that was the right call. I think I had it pretty much under control. But okay. Have an extra Delena, although she is one of the standing characters, so a Bastard of Nightsong in hand, Edric in play, so the only thing she could find is Bastard in hiding. Now my opponent gets some nice draw here by sacrificing the characters that are knelt. Of course, he is stuck with these high costers, can only carry one through the Harris, and Traitor coming back, so when he plays his Stannis or whatever it is from hand now, he will get the Traitor immediately. And now I get economy. Yeah, all the control pieces here. Storm's End, Black Cells. Guardian Shadows as well. Two gold, and I do know that ours is the Fury is still there. Four gold, so now I do have King's Landing, which makes it 6. But I'm just going to dig for more stuff here. And saving the kingdom, fortunately, is not doing much, so what to do? I guess the Lord trigger. And I need to bestow it as well, otherwise he is just on 0 strength. So that's 3 gold, and I could play the Stormland's Fiefdom or a Traitor, I guess. If I want to do both, I guess he has to stay on 0 strength, which is not ideal because he has a pretty easy intrigue challenge he can do. Although now I'm stuck with playing around that Ars is the Fury when of course Stannis is a kneeling character. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking here, I think possibly. How to do anything useful in the challenges phase now with that annoying card. Playing the Stormland's Fiefdom anyway, which I think is the right call. Now I have plenty of econ for my strong rounds, which should be coming up with another Grand Melee, and then I have trade routes as well. Get that Storm's End. And the close call, so still waiting to see his reset. Given the big characters, it's not going to be the Harris, is it? So it should be either Morghulis or more likely Wildfire Assault. Now do I defend? Because if I attack, I know that Arsis the Fury is coming. And still there could be annoying mystery cards in shadows. Yeah, taking a Delena dupe makes sense. It's not really set up for Morghulis himself if he had it. Now what to do? Do the challenges and force that Arsis the Fury. I think if I remember correctly, yeah, just he has the Storms and Trigger, of course, on all of these challenges, which he doesn't use. I think if Arcee the Fury is played, character is participating, and then if he wins, he stands, but he won't, of course, because of Delena. But still makes it possible to defend challenges. And hitting the Hand's Judgment, not too bad. Eventually I will be playing Saving the Kingdom, I guess. I can do the power challenge pretty safely as well. He could defend with Stannis and use his reaction, I guess, if he uses Arcee the Fury. But I would be happy to see that card gone. Still 2 cards in shadows. Traitor, of course, he has his own. Now Melisandre does not contribute strength, which means I lose dominance. Yeah, nice play. Not using it on Delena to make the challenge fizzle. He thinks that yeah, preventing me the dominance win is more useful, and I think he is correct. What do we have here? Gets rid of my throne, which complicates things further. Now I have these King's Landing locations which can be used with King's Landing to draw me another card. Just Econ though, I'm pretty well set up. I have a milk, there's nothing really to milk. And another traitor, just to put on all of his characters, is an option. I think the thing to do is put in a King's Gate and then use the King's Landing reaction to draw another card. Yeah. Don't really need the traitor because there's one on Robert and one in hand. And yet another Delena, which is a good card, but she's already in play, so I'm not getting her reaction, unfortunately. And what does he do for Robert this time? Keep my 3 shots knelt. Yep. So it's Robert and Stannis, but traitor in hand. Okay, and this might be useful for me. Grand melee into this big round. Surprised he's going first. Well, with the Red Priest that's useful, but anything else, you just expose yourself to the Melisandre Nil potentially, and to these traitors to the crown. Guess he plays out as much stuff as he can and then puts something in shadows, and hopefully there won't be too much waste with the 0 reserve. Well, actually, not the 0 reserve, the 2 reserve. One from Summer and one from Storm, from the Iron Throne. So that worked out pretty nicely for him. And passing with 8 gold remaining might be a good sign, I guess, or could be something annoying. Still left in hand. I can use the Red Priest to see, I guess, since I'm low on characters, may as well. Now if I'm going to play Red Priest, that should be the first thing I do to see what I'm up against. Storms, and his hasn't really been used yet. And here comes the traitor. Makes it difficult for him to win a power challenge, and what do I do with my Grand Melee? So I think playing out some characters was the priority, and I failed to do that. And now I play the Red Priest after I've already done everything else. It's pretty silly. Okay, he's not winning the power challenge. There is Selisi, which doesn't hurt me as much as it hurts him. Ours is the Fury. Could be annoying, I guess. Support of the people. Useless Sin in Flames is pretty annoying, I guess. Yeah, if I played trade routes here, would have a lot of gold. Could play out Shrin in Shadows and Bastard of Night Song as well, and then have a good Grand Melee potentially. But okay, not too bad. And if I had the red keep, I could do some power challenges, but Melisandre is not counting her strength. Unless I guess I do intrigue with both of them and change it to power with Storm's End. Okay. Okay. Ours the Fury gone. That's one card I was obsessing about. Glad to see that gone. I'm just checking if there's anything worth saving here. And I do leave trade routes as the final one. And he surprises me with the Harris. Stannis, Robert, there was Richard Thorpe and Melisandre. Difficult to carry all of those through the Harris, and now this has worked out quite well for me, and I get an extra card with Close Call. Fortunately, Delena has to go, but okay, keeping Red Priest, standing character, that's also taken a card, and Edric to help me with the dominance battle. And another traitor. Back to hand. Glad to have a Red Priest as well. That should be just checking the hand, I guess, and we know that there is Selisi. And let's see if he's drawn any more characters. Just a dupe for Robert. So if I take Selisi, looks like I can turn it around in the challenges phase. Yeah, let's not forget the extra gold. No real reason to play the milk. Robert is not hurting me that much. But okay, fair enough. And I think the Bastard of Night Song has waited long enough. he could be very useful here. If there is a character in shadows that's saving the kingdom, could be useful, but we don't know what the card is. Could just play another power icon, yeah. Now glad that Silisi is out of the game. So next plot is the last one, and there's still 20 minutes left, so just checking what happens when the plots turn around. I guess the you win or you die is coming back for extra draw. None of the others really hurt that much. He could use air to trade Shireen for something bigger. Okay, just using black cells to block Bastard of Night Song. Hopefully stay ahead. And I guess my one thing that I need to worry about is dominance here, but he has the throne, so he has 13 whatever I do, and I have, well, I have 12, so not that far away, but I can't actually win dominance. Okay, and Melisandre of course equipped with that traitor. Yeah, not the best decision. But now I have my own Storm's End, and I could use a Red Priest to turn it into a power. Military is not really helping me. Now, is there another traitor? Actually, there isn't, because he's put one of the cards that I saw with Red Priest into shadows. Yeah, and trade routes is coming, so I think this is the time to sack the King's Gate. Silisi normally pretty good. In this particular game, maybe not so much. Let's see what survives the Robert trigger. Everything. Oh, of course, he's milked. Never mind. Now I have him outnumbered. This time he gets the extra card, just one dead reducer. I try not to kill too much stuff, but he had 4 characters, and I thought may as well. Maybe he runs into trouble if I do that more than once. Yeah, and here is where the Acolyte is actually pretty good. Because I know what cards are in his hand, and I can see if more annoying stuff is coming. So Milk would have gone on Melisandre or the Bastard of Night Song, depending on what he intends to do with Black Cells. And then there was the Red Keep Goaler, which is an easy character that comes in challenges past my Melisandre or Silisi nil. Now he has 2 ladies, so Silisi not looking that great. And from top decking, this has gone pretty nicely for him. Delena into Bastard of Robert, and then Milk for Melisandre. just have the one draw option here with Alistair. And drawing into the Iron Throne would be pretty nice, although just with the sheer gold I get from trade routes, maybe there is a chance to beat that Iron Throne. No reason to dupe Mel. If I play Duharis at some point, she can come into play unmilked. And a bunch of characters with strength 1 for him. Castrator on Lena and Shirin. Pastor of Robert, okay, because I think saving the kingdom finally getting used now. That should target Delena because want her knelt for Serisi. And still he has more econ out of shadows. It's 8 econ locations in play and he has still almost half of his deck left to draw. So usually the number of econ locations you play is around 9, maybe 10. I guess a bit more in a deck like this where you just need a lot of gold to carry through to the challenges phase, although he also is playing the reducer locations which don't give direct gold, but okay. So I'm guessing he plays over 10 econ locations in this deck. And maybe those are not good draws actually at this point. Not doing that much good compared to stuff like the red keep gold that I put to the bottom. So he stops the Bastard of Night Song, can't really do anything with his power challenge. And now come the Storm's End games, I guess. Now do we do that same thing as we did last round with Melisandre? This time we go for the Red Priest. And he changes it to power. Could have defended it with both of these. And another Hand's Judgment. Stop my Nil. Now what does he do? If he defends it, that's fine, but I then do a real power challenge, which is then unopposed. So similar to just letting an unopposed intrigue through, I guess, but at least there's no intrigue claim now. So he has 14 for dominance. I'm winning that one at the moment. I have 16. Just don't do anything silly. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm not winning dominance if I do this. But I can get unopposed power. which I guess is quite similar. Yeah, and now it's completely swung around, 13-6. He's kind of stuck with his Storm's End because I have all of those traitors. He has the Monocons. And mine is doing better work here. And of course, Grand Melees come back. I have 2 that I can play back to back. And now, okay. I have 2 red priests, so if I carry those through this Harris, I can only then keep, for instance, Edric and the Acolyte with Melisandre in hand and Alistair leaving play to kneel something not that bad, and I'm stopping him getting that Cilici back. Yeah, last round I think dominance with Throne and Chamber was better because I could have taken Saving the Kingdom back to hand, couldn't I? And with Grand Melee, characters are useful of course, so even though he's kind of still top decking, prefer to keep the Acolyte standing, and I think I have a good chance of winning this round. Melisandre to come as well. And Red Keep, which means I can win challenges with just the one participating character, just using the King's Landing on the Red Keep immediately. I think the game might end before I get to draw those 2 cards. And as you see, I've top decked Imri, so doesn't look like he can get around that, even if he can block everything else. Yeah, just leave enough gold for Shireen if the worst happens. And okay, didn't play Melisandre. Nothing to kneel anyway at this point. Now if he's drawn Cilici, that would be pretty nice. Could kneel the whole board here and have 3 standing characters. No. She has some anti-synergy with the agenda, of course, because the agenda also needs the faction card. And that's why I personally don't play her in this deck, in my Bar Assault. But I'd love to if I could. Also the Set Down or Deeds event also needs the faction card. And the Assault deck slightly struggles for draw because I also don't play Exchange of Information. Okay, so Traitor on Edric, that takes him out of the equation, and Black Cells will stop what? Imri, presumably? Stops the Reducer. Okay. Probably counting on Imri to just be used for his ability. And okay. I was thinking I can just do challenge with a single character because I have the red keep, and I'll turn it into power, and then somehow this got something got lost here in my train of thought, and ended up just doing a 0 strength challenge because of course he's not going to contribute strength to intrigue on the grand melee turn. I think that's the one and only time I've done this, or I did this I should say, in the World Championship. It's always makes you look stupid, but yeah, still happens even after playing so many games with this double grand melee. But it shouldn't really matter. I think I can just do a power challenge here. He has 2 characters that can potentially defend. Guess he could use Shireen or the Bastard of Robert and Melisandre or Robert. That's 2 characters, even though one has traitor attached, you still win on defense. And that's what he does. Now I guess I can use my own Shireen here. He defends with both. I can remove Melisandre, and Red Keep is going to win against... It's unopposed actually, because Bastard doesn't contribute strength, so yeah, here we are. Misplayed a bit towards the end, but decent game, decent win, and another grind that was decided by that late game push with Storm's End. So on to round 4, I guess.